Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Christian, and this is going to be a sort of special month because of the whole DC New 52 thing. And what I'm going to do is, since I am picking up all 13 of the new comics by DC that are being released each week for the first month, plus the regular Marvel and Vertigo comics, it's a little too much to review all in one week. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm picking out the 3 titles that I enjoyed the least, not necessarily that were bad, but that I personally enjoyed the least out of all the DC new books, and then my top 3 titles. So yeah, this particular video is going to be with my least 3 favorites, starting with going from what kind of order would I put it? Alright, my least favorite is going to be the very last book. So here it is, starting with OMAC issue number 1. Now, as I was saying, these aren't books that I necessarily hated. For example, OMAC is a good example. I didn't hate the book, however, I didn't love it. It is Dan Didio writing with Keith Giffen, and it just wasn't necessarily my cup of tea. It certainly isn't as bad as everyone was hoping it, but expecting it to be with Dan Didio. It certainly isn't the best title of the book, and it doesn't look great. There are some panels that just look kind of meh, but it certainly has decent art, and OMAC, it was a fun book at parts, but then the whole concept is kind of not for me. I didn't necessarily enjoy this whole issue until the very end, when that's when it kind of hooked me, but not really. So again, this wasn't the worst of the worst, it just wasn't the best of the best. So I would think if you like OMAC, to give this a try. It was definitely worth the read. I might, because of that last page, last few pages actually, I might be picking up the next issue and give the first arc a try, but more likely not. So it was definitely not the book that I hated, but the book that I just didn't really enjoy. But overall, it was pretty decent. And now, Men of War number 1. This is a book I just really didn't care about. This was the book I was least excited about of the entire lineup overall of the New 52, and again, it wasn't for me. I could see someone else who actually likes reading war comics really enjoying this, because there certainly wasn't anything wrong with the writing. I just don't like this type of book. Who knows, this could be the next Jonah Hex for all I know, but I just really didn't care for the writing. I just didn't really care for the story. It's just your typical war story with your hard-headed infantryman who's Sergeant Rock's son, I believe, or descendant of some kind. The art is really good though, and I did like one thing about the writing. It starts off a certain way and then flashes back, and it progresses through the story normally, and then once you get somewhere in the midpoint, that's the point where the book started off, and it just felt like it did a complete loop, and it that part of the book, that part necessarily, specifically, I really liked. It just it read really, really well. The other part that I actually enjoyed was these normal men are in the middle of a war zone, and then this Superman appears. Not necessarily Superman, but it's good. I think it's fun to see these regular guys in the greater DCU with these super powered beings. So I think that was cool. It just wasn't my cup of tea again. So yeah, again, it's not terrible. It just wasn't for me. However, what I didn't like at all was Hawk and Dove. Sterling Gates, who I'm not a big fan of. I actually haven't read any of his stuff, except for Kid Flash, which I thought was great, and Rob Liefeld, who I really don't like. So that really says it all. I didn't care for the characters. I didn't care for the story. I didn't care for the cliffhanger. In general, I don't really care for Hawk and Dove much. So I was really going into this with really low expectations and coming out with nothing really, and I wasn't really disappointed because I kind of expected not to like this, but yeah. Again, this is just my personal opinion. I know there might be someone out there who loves Hawk and Dove and might make this their favorite book for some reason, but again, I'm not just being negative about the book. It just wasn't what I liked. So yeah, it's definitely interesting to see where this could go. I'm just not gonna stick around to see it move forward. So yeah, and that's it. Next part will be my top 3, so look for that.